So Fredericksburg is an incredibly historic place. The modern history dates back almost 3 centuries, and we're very fortunate here in Fredericksburg that we have many organizations that help tell that history and that help people that are very interested in the history learn more about Fredericksburg buildings, people, etc. So this week on Freehling Finds, we're going to be starting a 3-part series to take you inside 3 of these great facilities. HFFI, Central Rappahannock Regional Library, and the Central Rappahannock Heritage Center. So I'm standing right now outside the Lewis store at the corner of Lewis and Caroline Streets, which is a store that dates back to 1749 that John Lewis built and that Fielding Lewis, his son, ran. You may know Fielding Lewis as the man who built what's now called Kenmore and who was the brother-in-law of George Washington. And so this is now the home of HFFI, and we're going to go upstairs and talk to Sandra about what HFFI offers. All right, so now we're upstairs in the former Lewis store with Sandra Erickson, the Director of Operations for HFFI. So Sandra, just tell us a little bit about HFFI and the history of the organization and the mission and that kind of thing.
Sure. So the Historic Fredericksburg Foundation, our mission is to preserve, protect, and revitalize the historic environment and character of Fredericksburg, the cultural resources of Fredericksburg, but really run by volunteers to meet our mission in the Fredericksburg area.
And you've been around for, what, 60 years now?
Since the 1950s. So yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, it's a great historic preservation organization, and so we're standing, you can see all these file cabinets and books, and so tell people a little bit about what type of research opportunities there are here in the office.
Yeah, so if people want to come and research here at the Historic Fredericksburg Foundation, they can come in during our open hours. So we're open Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from noon until 3. You don't need an appointment. You can just come on in and ask to see some of our resources that we have available. So in some of these filing cabinets, we have files on properties throughout Fredericksburg. So if you have a property in mind, maybe you're looking to buy a house or looking to sell a house and want to know some information, or you're just curious, you can come in, ask about a particular property.
And you all run the marker program that you see around town, and you do the candlelight tour, and
yeah, we
very
got a
active organization.
Yeah, we have a lot of different committees and folks. So we do have a real estate committee, and they take care of our easements. So we have about 40 plus protective easements on properties in and around Fredericksburg. So they're doing the checks on those and things. We have the marker committee. So as you walk around Fredericksburg, you'll see the markers on different homes and businesses, and those are typically locally here done by the Historic Fredericksburg Foundation. So our marker committee will do research on a property. They'll spend 6 months to a year researching the property, looking at the deeds and tax information and past owners, and they look up all this info and then they compile it into a report. So they do a great job with that. We have a special events committee that really focuses on education. So we'll have pub tours. We have a cemetery tour coming up. So we've always have some sort of event happening. And then we have oral histories that are actually available here as a resource. We have a oral history committee.
Great.
Lots of good stuff.
Well, historic preservation in the history of Fredericksburg is a huge part of what makes us a special place to both residents and visitors, and so we certainly appreciate everything that HFFI does to tell that story and to help preserve it. So encourage people to participate in some of these events and to utilize this resource and come up here and research the history of our great city. So Sandra, thanks for taking the time to be with us today, and thanks for everything HFFI does.
Thank you for having us, thanks for being here.
All right, so thanks to Sandra for showing us around the HFFI office here in the Lewis store. Next week, we're going to go out to Funland and tell you about the improvements that have recently been made to Funland, including a great new climbing wall. And like I said in the intro, we'll be taking you inside two other great area resources for telling our city's rich history over the next few weeks. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.